Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to discuss with you how we can make more sustainable and more conscious choices even within the fast fashion industry. And to do so I will show you some example of previous purchases I made that in hindsight were really not that bad, and probably even better of some of my more sustainable purchases. Before starting though, I can already hear the criticisms.
Fast fashion is not sustainable.
And that is absolutely true, and that's why I am personally on a fast fashion ban. Everything I have is either old, 3 years or more, or is second-hand. But I am also aware of the fact that this is not possible for everyone. For some people, fast fashion is still the only choice they have, or one of the few choices they have. That can be for multitude of reasons. The easiest that I can think of is that the more sustainable choices are either too expensive or they're just inaccessible for them. And that though doesn't mean that these people can absolutely not make sustainable choices. It is always possible to make better choices within the possibility that we have available to us. So that's the whole idea of my channel, is to find ways in which we can be more sustainable even within our lifestyle and without really having to sacrifice all that much actually. So if you're interested in that, please considering subscribing to my channel and maybe liking this video if you did like this video. So let's start saying that for me something is really sustainable if we are able to use it for a very long time, because at the end of the day something that we use over and over again will always be more sustainable than something that is maybe even made super sustainably but that we never use because we simply don't need it and will end up in landfill anyway. So with that said, tip number one would be to look for really better quality item. And yes, I know that there is this idea that everything is fast fashion is absolute crap and that it is impossible to find something quality. And I mean, it is true, fast fashion is definitely not the best place to look for super high quality items, but not everything is crap, let's be honest. There are some things that are actually decently done and that can last you a long time. I have stuff that, like the one that I'm wearing, it is more than 10 years long, and so try to look for things that really are better made, and you need to look at the seams, you need to see that everything is sewn, possibly everything is hemmed properly, and then try to really feel the material that is thick enough, that is sturdy enough. And then definitely try to go for natural materials, because things like cotton, wool will last longer, but also they will be at the end better for the environment, because these things should at least be able to break down compared to synthetic materials. Tip number two would be to look for basics. If I think what are the things that really last me a long time, a lot of them are very basic items like denim shorts, my skinny jeans, basic black cardigans, my solid t-shirt or striped t-shirts, things like this. And the reason behind that is that these things are so basic that they offer like a white canvas to work with. So you can very easily pair them with different items to always make outfits that are up to date and that they look trendy and on style. And it means that we only need to have very basic and very neutral items to have a long-lasting wardrobe? Nope, absolutely not. I do believe that we can definitely play with the trends, patterns and colors if we do that strategically. So the first way to go around it would be try to go for very classic patterns. Something like this, for example, is a very good example.
Florals for spring. Groundbreaking.
Exactly the point. This is definitely something that won't be groundbreaking in terms of fashion and style, but it will never be out of style either. It's something to include colors and pattern in your wardrobe is to try to find items that still have an element of comfort in them. Now that sounds a little bit complicated, but what I mean is that try to find your equivalent of something like this. Now believe it or not, considering that I normally am a very neutral person, but that this is one of my oldest and most used item in my wardrobe, and that's because even if the pattern is a little bit crazy for my standard, the color scheme is a color scheme that I love and that I know that it works in my wardrobe, because as you can see I pretty much like baby blue and the blue spectrum in general. Also, this is a very plain t-shirt, other than being patterned. Same with colors. As I said, the jumper that I'm wearing now is at this point really more than 10 years old, and again one of my most used and my most loved. And same goes, for example, for the green jumper that you see me use all the time this summer. Both of them were very trendy color when I bought them, but besides from that, they are a very plain jumper, so I know that this can work in my wardrobe, and I know that I can very easily pair it with other things, so always make them work in my wardrobe even once the trend is past. You can actually also do the other way around, so play a little bit more with the shapes and cuts, and maintaining the color, for example, neutral. So an example I have is this one. It's a little bit difficult to see actually because it's blue, and this is actually second-hand, but it shows my point very well. So this was my attempt to play with the all macrame and ruffle kind of trends. But because I know that in this way, like, the shape and the structure of the garment is pretty in your face for my standard, then I kept a color neutral, and I went for a navy that it's not only a color that is, I mean, it's a classic, but also, again, it's blue, so it's a color that I know that it works in my wardrobe. So the idea is always try to keep something, to buy items that always have something that you know that will make them wearable beyond the trend. Because, for example, if this one was in a very bright color, like, I don't know, a pink or something like this, I see it very difficult for me to continue using it even after the trend passed, because it would be bore me very, very fast. Finally, and this is again pretty obvious, but it's also the most important thing, and it is buy less. Because it doesn't matter where you're buying from, but reducing the amount of stuff that you buy and consume will always have a good impact on the environment. And that was it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this video interesting. If you did, please consider giving a thumbs up, and see you next time. Bye!